Good afternoon. Hey, these things are live. Good afternoon and welcome to the City Commission meeting for Tuesday, December the 10th, 2024. At this point in time, I usually ask people to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, but I want to say something first. I actually had an opportunity on Friday night to talk to Santa Claus. And Santa Claus told me he liked three things in this life. One was Mrs. Claus, and that was a good call on your part, by the way. The other was helping to deliver toys to all the good boys and girls. And the last thing he said, which was not a surprise to me, but kind of a surprise, he loves America. And so I'd like to invite Santa Claus to come up to the podium, and Santa Claus is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would, please stand to your feet and follow his lead.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Santa Claus. I'll be looking for you in a few weeks.
I'll be here. Those of you that did not get candy canes, don't worry, I have lots to call for you later.
Can we have a roll call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Witt.
Here.
Commissioner Vowles. Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Here.
Mayor Staten.
Here. First up on the agenda is we have some very special guests from Henderson County High School. It is the Henderson County High School Choir. And so I think they're being led in right now, and they are going to share a little bit of Christmas music with us this afternoon.
I'm Mrs. Staffeld. I'm the choir director of Henderson County High School, and the wonderful individuals that we have today are the choral singers. And the first song we're going to sing for you is Carol of the Bells. Marching band and concert band and all the above, all the other ensembles. And so he has joined us this evening with the drum, and this is Vinny Emmanuel.
strangers came, yes, plenty of room.
When the heavens rain with glory to God,
In the highest and on earth goodwill to men.
no room in the inn,
No room, no room, Bethlehem. No room, no manger bed. No room, but there was plenty of room for the wise men three, yes, plenty of room.
and a man did he they
Lay precious gifts, frankincense and myrrh, for the newborn King. No room in the inn. No room, no Bethlehem. No room, no manger bed. No room, 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 no room.
nowhere he could lay his head.
No place but a manger bed, a manger bed. No room in the inn. No room, no baby born Bethlehem. No room, no manger bed. No room, no room, no room, no room, no room, no room, no room,
Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right, I would hate to have to follow the high school choir, Lindsay Williams. You guys did amazing, and we just wanted to help ring in some Christmas cheer since this is our first and last meeting before Christmas, I believe. And to help us do that, also a very talented a musician from Henderson, who happens to be a good friend of mine, Lindsay Williams. He's amazing, and he volunteered some of his time to come share a little bit of Christmas cheer with us today also. So, Lindsay, if you would, please take it away, sir.
Take away getting this guitar too. Struggling, man. I was going to do all of those songs. Now I got to do that. If there's any guitar players here, nylon strings take like 2 weeks to stay in tune when you change them. They sound better, but they don't stay. I thought I'd do some really traditional stuff. Some of my favorite stuff was the Bing Crosbys and the Burl Ives and the real oldies but goodies and the cartoon versions of stuff. Okay, that's plenty. Oh, one more thing, Brad, I was disappointed to see the nepotism involved in the choir there. I think you brought those in for a reason. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. It's a beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bluebird. He sings a love song as we roll along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say no, man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire. We face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Solo! In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other kitties knock him down. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire. We'll face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Thank you. These next two songs are especially special to me. This one, I have it in my book. I usually put like the title and then I would look this up under Elvis Presley, but this is Susie's song. My Aunt Susie used to sing this every Christmas. She's not with us anymore, so I do this for her. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on our green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, and I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, and I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Last but not least, this one goes out to my dad always. This is a Willie Nelson song. He asked me to learn this. One of the only songs he ever asked me to learn. This is Willie Nelson, Pretty Paper. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue, wrap your presents to your darling from you. Pretty pencils to write I love you. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Crowded streets, busy feet, bustling by. Downtown shoppers, Christmas is nigh. There he sits, all alone on the sidewalk, hoping that you won't pass him by. Should you stop? Better not. Much too busy. Better hurry My, how time does fly. And in the distance, the ringing of laughter. And in the midst of the laughter, he cries. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Wrap your presents to your darling from you. Pretty pencils to write I love you. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Oh, pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. If anybody could have told that it was you, you did a fantastic job. Well, hopefully everybody's a little bit more in the Christmas spirit, and now we'll get down to this agenda. We've got a pretty packed agenda, so we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to turn it over to Buzzy, and with our recognition of new employees.
Bart, do you mind to come to the podium, please?
How are we supposed to top that?
Yeah. Can you sing?
No. Dance, yeah, I can dance. Yeah. We have Preston Roberts with us here today. Preston was with us for a couple years before. Went to Pratt and come back. We're very glad to have him, equipment operator. And he's, how long have you been here? A month now?
Right at a month.
About a month now. So, Justin Pardue came from Hydromax. I believe. What was it? Allstott, okay. All right, so definitely glad to have Justin too. I seen him the other night. We had a water main leak on North Elm Street, and these guys don't get enough credit. You know, they're out there at 2 in the morning. It's 25 degrees. They're standing in the water 2 feet deep, and you know, sometimes you wonder if they make enough money to do that. You know, so we're just so thankful to have them and what they do. Thankful to be here.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Well, welcome aboard. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Trace, would you like to come forward, please?
We've just have one new employee, but we're thankful to have her. We have Jamie Henry here. She's working at the JFK Community Center for us. She's taken the place of a longtime employee that recently retired, but she's fit right in. She's already moved above and beyond what we've expected of her, and she's doing extra, and we're glad to have her.
Fire Chief, Josh.
So today I've got Mr. Matthew Sternberg. He's been with us roughly for about a month. He came from Evansville, Indiana. Hadn't been in high school too long. How long has it been?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. But he did the Southern Indiana Career Technical Center, which gave him an opportunity to do an internship with the Boonville Fire Department for about 5 months, and just put him on the pathway for this career. But we're pretty excited to have him, and looking at big things for him. So
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve the city.
Oh, my God, thank you for servicing the city. We appreciate it. Oh, my-
I just noticed there's a little resemblance between the two of you.
he's a lot younger.
Jordan, there she is.
So I have Elizabeth Earl with me today. She's our newest communications officer. She comes from Gibson County, where she had 3 years of experience there. She took a few years off to raise her son, and ironically, during her interview, we found out that our children went to school together. So, small world, but she's moved here to Henderson now, and after taking a few years off to raise her son, she's dispatching for us now, and we're happy to have her. So, always thankful for experience when it comes to 911. So,
Yes, ma'am. Welcome aboard.
Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
I would say the fire chief again, but it's actually the police chief. Mr. Happy himself, Billy Bowman, and a third of a new police department.
We've got quite a few here. First is Chris Robinson. He's been back with us for a few weeks. He's originally from Southern Illinois, but he was on the Henderson Police Department, went down and worked in Madisonville for a little bit, and we got him back, so you can share that with your buddy down there.
I will. I will.
And then
I'll
I
text
wrote
him right
notes
now,
since
actually.
we've got so many up here. Next up's Logan Cobb. Logan, when I call your name, just step on up here. So Logan is from St. Charles, Kentucky. He's got a dad in law enforcement and wanting to follow his steps, so we're glad to have him. Cooper Quinn. Cooper is kind of partially from the Madisonville area and Jacksonville, Florida. And we're glad to have him here on the police department. We've been talking to him for quite a while. I'm glad he's here, so appreciate it. Colton Edwards. Colton is from Henderson. He was working as a supervisor at Alcoa and really wanted to be in law enforcement. And I think he took quite the pay cut to come here, so we appreciate you that leap of faith. So Lucius Lloyd. And real quick, Lucius is from Evansville. I'll give a real quick side story. Jason Cullum is in the back there. The Cops Connecting with Kids program that Henderson's been a part of for several years. Jason is the one that started that when we were at Evansville years ago. When Lucius was in 7th grade, he went with us to Disney and wanted to be a police officer. So I'm really happy that he joined us over here. So thank you,
awesome.
Lucius. And then Anthony Chastain. Anthony is also from Evansville and coming over here to give us a whirl, and we're glad to have all of them. And like you said, it's a pretty good chunk of people we're adding. So appreciate all of you coming over here.
Sir, thank you.
Billy, where did you get that sweater?
I think I got it at Target.
Okay.
And what would you guys think of me like forcing Bob Schultz to wear one if we got him?
I'll tell you what, I think that's a good challenge.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to work on that.
Thanks, Billy.
Tim?
We've got Justin Holbrook here. He lives in Owensboro, and he came to us with 6 years of experience in natural gas construction at Envision Underground. So we're very happy to hire somebody with that much background in natural gas. So happy to have him.
All right, welcome aboard.
Great.
I'd like to welcome Devin Elder. He's taken over our Network Administrator 2 position, senior position, and he comes to us from a managed services provider in Evansville, has a number of years of experience doing the things that we need and a varied experience of that. So I'd like to welcome him.
I'm excited for the opportunity, and I hope I can help you all with all the IT needs that everybody has.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That is all.
That is it. Just wanted to make one quick comment. So it sounds like we've got a lot of people from Evansville coming to work over here in Henderson, and we're always happy to have you. I just wanted to make sure to share with you to kind of pay attention to the community that you're servicing, because it's an easy one to fall in love with. And even though you're working here, if you don't live here, consider it. You know, we'd love to have you as a community, to have you in our community, have you working in our community, have you living with us, have you participating in civic organizations, stuff like that. Henderson's just a great place, and we're very fortunate to have you. Thank you for joining the City of Henderson. We appreciate it. Next up, if I could have Miss Brescia Pruitt and anyone else who's with Brescia who might want to join her, join me at the podium, please.
As a former gymnast, Brescia Pruitt knows a thing or two about flips. She flipped the script on her own experiences to provide a nurturing environment for athletes at Brescia Pruitt Elite Gymnastics, a local gym she owns and operates. Recently, when another local team needed a coach, Brescia vaulted to a perfect score in kindness, class, and empathy. Just 2 weeks before a major state competition last March, the coach at a nearby gym was injured and unable to coach or make the meet. So in addition to 15 of her own athletes, Brescia stepped up to coach 9 of her rivals. For 2 weeks, the athletes trained together, then competed for their respective gyms, all under Brescia's guidance. Among the girls from Brescia's gym were a state champion and 2 who finished second in their divisions. All 9 girls she adopted improved their scores from the year before. Brescia appreciates the joy of gymnastics and wants to pass it on. She was a USA Gymnastics Indiana and regional all-around champion and a junior Olympic national champion on uneven bars. A 2-time elite national team member, she represented the United States in competitions in France and Australia. However, her path was marked with adversity. She left her home, school, and family in Henderson as a 6th grader to train hundreds of miles away. Living with a series of host families, she was homeschooled and trained up to 8 hours each day. She earned multiple college scholarships, ultimately attending the University of Georgia. However, due to injuries, she was forced to give up her love of gymnastics and return home to Henderson. For anyone else, this setback could have been enough to turn her back on the sport she had dedicated her life to. Instead, she set up her own gym. Brescia Pruitt Elite Gymnastics promotes pillars of positivity, family, kindness, and fun. Brescia says, "I wanted to be the change. I wanted my girls and my boys' teams to be able to stay at home and get the coaching they deserve." Since opening her own gym, others have taken notice. 2 years ago, the Positive Coaching Alliance named her Double Gold National Coach of the Year. She's been commissioned a Kentucky Colonel by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear and served as the 2023 commencement speaker for the University of Southern Indiana's College of Science, Engineering, and Education. Just last month, Brescia was honored by the Musial Awards in St. Louis, Missouri. Named for Baseball Hall of Famer Stan Musial, the Musial Awards recognize the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and honor those in sports who embody class and character. Awarded alongside athletes such as Larry Fitzgerald, Albert Pujols, and Wayne Gretzky, just to name a few, Brescia has made her hometown of Henderson, Kentucky very proud. In honor of her accomplishments, we are proud to shine the spotlight this month on Henderson resident Brescia Pruitt.
Ms. Brescia, we started back in July. And once a month, we highlight someone or a group of people in the community who we feel like are doing outstanding things in the community. And we have one member of our commission who keeps us informed of all the great things that you are doing in this community. And so it is indeed my honor and privilege to present you with the Community Spotlight Award from the City of Henderson for the month of December 2024.
Thank you so much.
2024 Musial Awards.
I just would like to thank.
Welcome to the 2024 Musial Awards, celebrating the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character.
I believe that when you're in a position to do something for somebody, you should.
Sportsmanship is shown by actions, and the most important part about sports.
You've been honored by the Baseball Hall of Fame, and now this one means just as much to you.
Yeah, they're the two that are the most significant to me. They're both connected to baseball and to one of the greatest players in the history of the game.
Stan was my father's favorite player of all time. Many, many baseball games were watched in our living room.
One more, guys! I agree with Albert Pujols said. One of the best nights ever in my life, guys.
Oh, this is amazing. I mean, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Bob Costas, Billy Crystal.
I really strive to be the best person that I can be for kids, adults, the elderly.
Real quick before she speaks, 29th of December, correct?
Yes.
And on CBS, you get a chance to see the whole award show.
And BP Elite Gymnastics is hosting a watch party, so everyone's invited. I just would like to thank Henderson, the City Commission, the mayor. Like he said earlier, Henderson is a wonderful place to live, and I thank God for all of the talents that he's blessed me with and to be able to give back. And I just love Henderson, and I'm so grateful to be able to give back. So thank you all for this award, and I'm going to forever cherish it. Thank you.
All right, next up we have a presentation from Henderson Municipal Power and Light. Brian Hardesty, would you like to come up, please, sir?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Appreciate the invitation this afternoon to just give you a quick update on our exciting new fiber project. I think it's been about a year ago, if I remember correctly, that we last visited on this project, and I want to share with you all of the forward motion that we've had over the last few months. So just to remind you, Henderson Municipal Power and Light Fiber Solutions, we are a multi-gigabit internet provider to both home and business. That's new. For the longest time, we've been able to say that we were a business service provider. Now we are a home residential provider, doing both internet and phone services. We also do managed network services and managed Wi-Fi, along with a awesome community focus. This map is the biggest news for you. This is available on Hempel Fiber, hmplfiber.com. If you go up to the Fiber tab on the website, you can find this map. You can search your address to find out if services are currently available to you. So the areas that you're seeing in green on the map are areas that construction is completed and we are currently offering services in. So areas 1, 2, 3, and 4 are available now. We also have area 12, which was added, so that is the new Bentley Point development subdivision. We were the first to be in there with fiber. We were the first to provide services, and I think we have 10 customers in there already. A couple of other updates there for you. Area 5 will launch next week. Area 6, which is on the north end of town, will launch the first week of January. We are currently under construction in DA 7 and DA 9 with project completion summer of next year. Some of the gray areas that you see on the map, I do want to point out to you, these are areas that are either within the city limits or our KU service territories that we will also be expanding into. Work there will be completed before the end of 25. A few numbers for you that are a little bit of fun. So these are addresses, the number of addresses that we can provide service to currently. So this includes 1 through 4 and area 12. Total of 3,700 homes have been passed. A little over 600 businesses. Active subscriber count in those areas is now 265. We're doing approximately 15 to 20 new installs every week, and that number is just increasing as we speed up and get momentum around the project. These are the services that we're currently offering to homes, residential customers. The 1 gig symmetrical service is our base package at $79.95, 2 gig at $99.95. We've had a surprisingly high take rate on that 2 gig package, and we will be launching in the spring a 5 gig package to home services. We've done a lot of development on our online services. So this is our new website that's Hempel Fiber. Does include an online ordering portal. You can look up your address on that portal and see if services are currently available. So there is an address search tool involved there. It will tell you when services are expected to be launched in your area or if services are currently available. You can complete your order completely online. So you can go in, enter your address, it'll do a search. You do an online search for your address, you enter all your billing information. You can choose your internet package, select the home phone option if you want it. You actually get to select your installation date and time. And that is not a time range. It's not 1 to 5 o'clock. It is the time our people will show to install. Once you enter that information online, a work order is immediately and automatically created in our system. We assign that to a technician. The first step is we install a drop to your home. So we take a drop from the pole line or pedestal into the home. And then our technician shows up on the date and time that you chose and does that installation inside your home, including configuring your managed Wi-Fi solution. We spend time with our customers. We make sure all your devices are connecting and are working properly, and that you've thought through things like streaming television. Hempel Fiber is built multi-gig, so we're not just a single gig, we do multi-gig. This is a 10 gig network. It's built for the future, and we do install cutting-edge home routers, including Wi-Fi 6E and 7 routers. The big news, I have an announcement for you today. We've partnered with a group called My Bundle TV. It is available on the website today. What My Bundle TV does is answer the question that has been the biggest barrier to entry for us. People are asking, what do I do about cable TV? My Bundle TV allows you to go online, select the programs that are most important to you, and it helps you navigate the complex world of streaming TV. What solutions do I need? Is it Disney Plus? Is it Hulu? Is it DirecTV Stream? Is it YouTube TV? There's a very long list of options. We'll help you figure out what options you need to find the right TV programming for you. This has been an exceptional tool, not only to the young folks that jump online, grab the app, and start looking for what streaming programs they need. I can't count the number of TV times I can't remember which streaming service MacGyver's on, as an example. So this allows you to search MacGyver. It tells you where it's available. Young folks love it, but what I've found is the older folks in our community also love this, is they try and understand how to make the transition away from cable TV. Where do I see UK basketball? This app will answer the question. So you can find the content that you love. It'll help you guide you to the right services that you can purchase on your own. And it helps you manage your budget around streaming services. This is 100% free to our customers. It's a service that we just offer and partnered with to provide to our customers, and it's just one less barrier to entry and to make the big move. So that's the update that I had for you today. I did want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to the partnership with the city. The city personnel and staff have been amazing to work with, Doug Boom and many others that have kept us moving forward, kept us building as quickly as we can. We're excited about this. The community has, I can't even echo it enough. We've heard it here today already. This community is amazing. This is the 5th town that I've had the opportunity to do this in. And there is no other place that homes and these residential customers just welcome you into their yard. I'm digging up their yard and they're so excited I'm there. So just to thank you, and we appreciate anything. I'm happy to answer any questions for you.
All right. Anybody have any questions? Thank you so much for coming to give us an update. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have an HWU audit presentation.
My name's Todd Bully. I'm the CFO with the water utility. Our auditor was out of town and couldn't be here like he normally is, so I'll stand in his place. He presented our audit for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024 at our meeting on November the 18th. And we had a unqualified opinion, clean opinion. There was no findings during the audit process. Everybody should have received a copy of it. I always say I recommend reading pages 3 through 12, which are required, manager's discussion and analysis, which gives a brief overview in a kind of condensed, a little easy to read format that kind of explains everything that happened throughout the year to us. Like I said, we had no findings. I mean, I can go into detail, or I can take any questions if you have any.
I think the most important part is you had no findings, so it sounds like everything's running in good order, and that's what we would expect that they would be with the team that you guys have in place.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I will hit some highlights. We've spent approximately $37 million in capital assets in the last 2 years. We've had some issues with rising costs related to construction projects, et cetera, to offset, with that. Our new industrial customer was the reason for most of those capital investments. Other than that, operations continue to remain strong as far as usage trends, et cetera.
Good deal. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions for Todd? All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Now, before we move on to the next part of our agenda, is there anyone in the audience who has anything to bring before the City Commission that is not on the agenda? Yes, sir.
Mayor and City Commissioners, just want to put a spotlight on our Day of Celebration, Dr. Martin Luther King program. I think this is the last meeting for the end of the year and going into the new year. So there's not enough time to announce it. This year, in 2025, we'll have the Honorable Mayor Stephanie Terry will be our guest speaker for the event. It'll be down at the First Missionary Baptist Church. And congratulations to Miss Brescia Pruitt. Oftentimes I say we look for greatness all around our nation, and we have it right here in front of us. And Mayor Stephanie Terry has roots right here in Henderson. Her father pastored First Missionary Baptist Church for over 30-something years, so she has spiritual roots right in the downtown the city of Henderson. So that'll be Sunday, January the 12th at 3:00 p.m. Normally, we have it on January the 20th, but due to the inauguration of our incoming president and out of respect for that event, we moved it up a week. So we are asking all of our city folk and community people to please come out and support that event.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. Is there anyone else who has something to bring before the commission that is not on the agenda? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Kathy Williams. I'm the founder and CEO of Williams Rehabilitation Foundation. It's transitional housing for battered women and reentry women and women with children. So I'm here today because I'm in need of help. I got more kids and families than I did last year, so I have more now than I did last year, so the budget is just not working, and I'm asking for donations of any kind. The kids are ranging from 3 months to 17 years old. Like I said, I have not yet found my building yet for my rehabilitation, but I do other things around the community. I pass out bread, donuts, pops to the needy, to the ones that's in the lower income, and the older women apartments over there. I try to help everybody I can because I have not got my own spot yet. So I just work from the community. And I'm usually at Sureway. I'm the lady they call the lady that be getting donations at Sureway. So I'm asking for help and any other things that may be able to benefit me and my business. Any questions?
Gotcha. No, thank you for coming before us. So because this is what's called a special called meeting,
yes,
we're not allowed to take any action on any items that aren't on the agenda, but your requests have been heard. And I'll be happy to also, outside of here, speak with you about our local grant process that we have through the United Way that is coming up just around the corner in February. And get you patched in there to be considered alongside the other nonprofits for some of that money as well. And thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you.
You know, it's hard sometimes to get out there and try to help people, especially when you don't know all the ins and outs about all the moving parts and stuff.
Correct.
And but you can tell your heart's in it.
Yes.
So thank you for coming
and I
and
love
talking to us.
Henderson. So I'm one of those that moved here. I've only been here 2 years now, and I love it.
Yes,
So-
ma'am.
Where'd you move from?
Well, I lived in Evansville for a year. Before then, it was Indy, 10 years, and my hometown is Fort Wayne, Indiana. So,
Hamilton is a great place to live.
yes, it is. So, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we have on our agenda later on in the agenda, we are going to be discussing a water rate increase later on in the agenda. And on the days where we discuss rate increases, we are required by law to have public hearings. And so right now, we are going to open a public hearing, which is your opportunity if you have any questions or if you have anything to say about the rate increase that we are going to be considering. This is your opportunity to come before us and say it and have your voice heard. And so in lack of a gavel, sorry for the unprofessionalism, I just left it at the other building. I'm going to bang the table to open the hearing, and then we will wait to see if anybody would like to come up to the podium to address the City Commission. And then after that period of time, we will close the public hearing. So right now, we are opening the public hearing. Seeing and hearing no one who would like to address the commission on this matter, we are going to officially close the public hearing. Next up on the agenda is we have a consent agenda.
The consent agenda consists of the minutes of the November 19th, 2024 special called meeting, the November 19th, 2024 work session, the November 21st, 2024 special called meeting, resolution number 62-24, resolution approving human resources report dated December 10th, 2024, resolution number 63-24, resolution approving First Amendment to the City of Henderson Group Health Plan, municipal order number 96-24, municipal order authorizing submittal of a fiscal year 2024 assistance to firefighters grant, to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency Grant Programs Directorate in the amount of $132,000 to fund training and education opportunities and purchase equipment to enhance operational efficiency, and accepting grant if awarded, and authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary documents. And municipal order number 97-24, municipal order amending Article 146 nepotism, Article 224 compensation, Article 246 insurance and COBRA benefits continuation, Article 304 sexual harassment policy, Article 305 grievance procedures, and Attachment A drug and alcohol policy, Addendum A and B of the City of Henderson Employee Manual.
And before we get a vote, are there any items that any commissioner would like to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Bowe, second Commissioner Pruitt. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance adopting water rates and sewer schedules.
Ordinance number 55-24, ordinance adopting charges for water, wastewater, and stormwater services. An ordinance amending ordinance 10-18 and adopting new water, wastewater, and stormwater charges to be effective on January 1st, 2025, with implementation of fixed rate increase on January 1st, 2026, and wastewater fixed rate increase on January 1st, 2027.
All right, for discussion purposes, can we get a motion to approve, please? Do we have a second?
Second.
Bart, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at, sir?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. I'd just like to take this opportunity to give a little background and tell everybody about Henderson Water Utility and what we do and where we can go. You know, my name is Bart Bowles. I'm the General Manager here at Henderson Water Utility. With me, I also have Todd Boley, our Chief Financial Officer. I also have Paul Bird, who's the Chairman of the Water and Sewer Commission. A little bit about us. And are you going to do the slides, or do I do this? You want to show me how to work this here? Arrow right. There we go. You know, we're more than just a water utility. We also do wastewater and stormwater as well. We have over 205 miles of water main and about 190 miles of sewer main. We also have about 136 miles of stormwater main and also ditches. So anytime you see a ditch that's not along a roadway, we are responsible for that too. We serve about 50,000 people. That's in Henderson County, McLean County, and Webster County as well. And you know, we provide, you know, some of the highest quality water in the state of Kentucky. We always meet or exceed all regulatory requirements. We have 2 water treatment plants, one on the Ohio River on Water Street, and then one in Roberts, Kentucky on the Green River. We also have 2 wastewater treatment plants, one on Drury Lane and then one in Roberts near Tyson Foods. We also operate 57 sewer pump stations. You wouldn't think that's a lot. That's a lot of headaches and a lot of work, and a lot of money goes into keeping those upkeep on those. So, you know, what we've seen over the last 5 years, our last rate increase was 2019. It's been about 5 years, you know, since we've had a rate increase. Inflation, as everybody knows, has gone up significantly across the U.S. We've seen about 20%, you know, since 2019. Our operation and maintenance expenses, we've seen about 10%. Capital costs have gone up about 15%. And as Todd alluded to a while ago, we've spent quite a bit of capital the last couple of years. And a lot of times when the estimate would come in from the engineering firm, it would be 15 to 20% more than what the estimate would be. So we're having to invest more in our capital expenses. And you know, what we're seeing is increased chemical expenses to operate our plants, our water plants, our wastewater plants, expenses for contractual labor. I think everybody's seeing that. Increased fuel costs for all of our vehicles, for our equipment. Benefits have gone up. They add to it as well. Debt from bonding, you know, for larger projects. Each one of these just keeps adding on. It's kind of a snowball effect. An increase in capital costs, you know, versus preliminary estimates. And aging infrastructure. And I'll show you a slide, you know, the next slide. You know, we have piping in our system that was built in the late 1800s in the middle of town and toward the east end. And it's in need of replacement. And we're starting to do that. And and this will allow us to do even more of that. And what we're seeing is more breaks in those areas of town, and even on the sewer mains, you might see a sinkhole. That's from an older sewer main that may have failed, and you're having what we call I&I, inflow and infiltration. So those are just parts of our aging infrastructure. And if you go to this next slide, this red area, those are the areas of town which are about 75 to 130 years old. And those are the areas that we're trying to address, as soon as we can. And a part of that, just like the project in the East End that we started this week, the Washington Vine water main and sewer main project. We're replacing about 1.5 miles of water and sewer main. So this is only going to continue. We're going to try to do this every year or two. Try to invest $1 to $2 million, every year or two to try to replace those lines. And this, that's a pretty large area. You could tell, most of that's by the river and kind of down, like I said, toward the east end. These areas need to be addressed. So, and obviously, I'm sure everybody hears these things on the news. The EPA and the Division of Water. There's more stringent regulatory requirements, whether it be lead copper or other things. We have to inspect every service line for each resident to check for copper, for lead, for copper, for galvanized steel. And if they're galvanized, there's no copper. I mean, there's no lead, but there are a few galvanized lines, and we have to replace those. That's about $8 million. And so these are just a few of the things that that are causing some of these increased costs. We have to modify our treatment plants. We have to add powder activated carbon. That's costing us more money. We're purchasing more equipment, sending more samples to labs, and of course increased chemical usage. It continues to add up. So those are just some of our rising costs. And this is just an explanation of how we bill customers. We bill with a combination of a volumetric rate and a fixed rate. The volumetric rate is the same for all non-contract customers. So if you use less than 37,500 gallons, it's $3.67 per 1,000 gallons for water, and it's $7.35 per 1,000 gallons for wastewater. And your wastewater is based off what you use in water. That's pretty low across the state. As we looked at the numbers of equal utilities across the state, we were some of the lowest rates that I could find. Whether it be Evansville, Madisonville, Owensboro, Elizabethtown, Georgetown, Ashland, we were some of the lowest rates in the state. So something to be very proud of. But we've kind of weathered the storm over the last 5 years, and it's time that we do something. And these rates, just for an 1 1/4 meter, which is residential customers, they're going to have an 1 1/4 or lower meter. Okay. The fixed fee right now is $7.50 for water, $7.50 for wastewater, and $5 for stormwater. And that's for most all residential customers. Your industrial and your commercial customers, they have 6-inch lines. It's a different cost. So what we're proposing, based off what we talked about just a few minutes ago, cost to operate the utility continues to increase. Inflation, like I said, it's gone up, just in the U.S. 20%. Aging infrastructure, 100 to 125-year-old water and sewer mains, and regulatory requirements. The regulatory requirements, we're seeing more and more across the state, whether it be combined sewer overflows, whether it be what's coming down the river in the water, or like I said, lead copper as well. And that's not going to stop. It's only going to continue to increase. So we'd like to have 90 days of operating cost and reserves, for a bonding capacity. It's a big issue if we don't. And so what we're proposing is to do a $5 fixed rate over 3 years, $5 each year. The first increase would be to the stormwater fixed rate, which would be January 1st, 2025. The second $5 fixed rate would be to the water fixed rate, January 1st, 2026. And the last one will be to wastewater, it'd be $5 January 1st, 2027. So we're trying to ease the pain just a little bit by doing it over 3 years. but it's something that needs to be done. It's, you know, we've been able to, like I said, weather the storm, but it's something that that's been on our mind for a couple of years. But it's also something that we need to do. And just kind of in summary, you know, we've been able to maintain our infrastructure. We meet all regulatory requirements. You know, over the last 5 years, you know, since our rate increase, and that's through the significant increase of our operating expenses. You know, Todd can tell you it just keeps going up year after year after year, and you know, after a point in time, you have to say, you know, stop and say, okay, we need to do something, and we're at that point. You know, capital cost, operation maintenance costs, regulatory requirements, they're not decreasing. They're not slowing down. It's only going to increase. It's only going to get bigger. You know, to keep moving forward, we feel it's pertinent, you know, to implement the 5.55 fixed rate. You know, and like I said, the Washington Vine project, that's a huge project. It's going to help our, you know, we have a 20-inch water main that's 100 years old that runs down Green Street, okay? That supplies that into town. That supplies all the east end. And what we're doing is we're installing another 20-inch main down Washington and Asia in case anything ever happens to that. So with these increases, we'll be able to do more of projects type, you know, like that. Also, invest in our plants as well. You know, the plants are getting old as well. You know, our utility is 150 years old next year. You know, so there's items, there's piping in our utility that's that old. You know, so we need to think about that as we move forward, and that's why we're proposing that. So, and I've attached, you know, our current rates, what they are, and you can see the fixed rates. That's the upper tables there, and it goes by meters, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, 2 inch, 3 and 4 inch, and like I said, the 6 inch and larger. That's your Accuride, your Crest lines, your International Paper, and that's what those are. So this is the current rates. This is what we're going to see in January 1st, 2025. And you can see it goes from $5 to $10 for the stormwater fee there at the bottom, and the others go up at the same percentage. January 1st, 2026, it goes to the water side. So your water would be $12.50, which it makes that, you know, $20 in 2026. And then the last increase would be 2027. It would be your wastewater, and it goes to $25. And understand, you know, the other meters, they go up, like I said, percentage-wise, the same that the smaller meter went up to. So that's what we have today. You know, I think it's important that we consider this, that we do this right now. We're in good shape financially, but going forward, if we don't make this move, our reserves are going to continue to go down. So we need to do this. So I'm open to questions. Try to answer anything you can.
Thank you, Bart. Sorry, I was just going to ask what you're doing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bart. Or Commissioner
Do you have
Pruitt.
an estimate on, once we get to that 5.55, what it's going to generate extra a year? You have that estimate?
It's 5 is 750.
It's about $750,000 per $5. So it would be about $2.25 million.
3 years?
At the end, when the full 15 is in effect, it would be an additional $2.2 million a year.
On the project that you're doing now, the Alvasia, are y'all replacing any water lines and all?
Water lines, water mains, and sewer mains. Yes, yep. And that will connect all the laterals that go to the old water and sewer mains. They're going to connect to the new water and sewer mains. So they should have better service in that section of town. So that's just one project of many that needs to be done. So, and you know, Todd mentioned, you know, it's about $750,000 per $5. I would say over the last 5 years, you know, we've probably lost as far as our revenue about $2 million. You know, so we're just getting back to kind of where we were. You know, is that fairly accurate, Todd? Somewhere in that range?
Yes.
Okay. On there, I wouldn't be in favor of that bigger increase that bigger increase in 3 years. But I do know the projects that you're doing and the money that it's going to take to get it done, especially on the east end, all those 6-inch water mains on one side. Over here, I think it's an 8-inch, and then every winter it's going to be breaks up and down Fagan by Alvasia. So I know you do need the money. So I can see where it's
What other kind of questions or comments do we have for Mr. Bowles?
I just know that we've thrown a lot on your plate in the last few years. It's cost, you've had to bond a whole lot of money. And I know we know this because I'm sure our existing structures are being neglected, or not being neglected, but we haven't had the money to do the replacement costs that we have, so we have to take care of those. So I'm thankful.
Just to let everybody know, we did do a work session on this already, so we've discussed it kind of in detail, ad nauseum in detail. But one other really key thing to point out, and I think Todd's already explained it earlier, but there's nothing built into the water rates to keep up with inflation at all. So this is the only way we keep up with inflation with water rates is by raising the rate. And I'm okay with nothing being built in. It's nice that we have some control over it, but just wanted to point that out as well.
Yeah, these types of discussions are never fun, when you're raising rates, because the headline comes out on Facebook and got 100 people who are mad at you. But it's necessary sometimes. And I will tell you, just listening to you talk about 2019 through today, there haven't been any rate increases. And we all know personally how much our pocketbooks have been impacted by the inflation that's happened in the 2020s so far. And it's affecting the utility too. And I don't want to get to a point as a community where you can't do the projects that you're doing. And we become national news because we haven't taken care of our water utility. And so I after the work session, I got a lot more warm and fuzzy feeling that what you're asking for is fair. And I like the fact that you're stair-stepping it in and you're not doing it all at once, but over a 3-year period of time. So I think as a commission after the work session that we had, that we probably don't need much more information to take a vote. But I appreciate you coming up and informing the public and informing us a little bit more about where you're standing now.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Are there any other questions or comments or concerns?
No, the only thing I would add is, we talked at the work session, or we voted a month or two ago for our own internal policy to keep 3 months worth of reserves. And, it'd be reckless for us not to expect you all to do the exact same thing. So I think we're all kind of moving lockstep in that approach. Obviously nobody's a fan of rate increases, but I think you hit on two main points, right? We have some of the best drinking water in the state, if not the whole region, and we have some of the lowest rates. That tells me we can trust everything you all are doing. I know you're always bored, and everybody, it's not a fun conversation to have, and obviously you would have sat up there and explained it in that great of depth if you thought it was an easy decision, but I think it makes sense.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Witt. Ms. Jessup, if you don't mind to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending job classification and pay plan for the Finance Department.
Ordinance number 56-24, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan. An ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by creating the position of utility billing lead.
Can we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles? Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending budgeted positions for the Finance Department.
Ordinance number 57-24, ordinance amending portion of City of Henderson fiscal year 2025 budget and appropriation. Ordinance amending City of Henderson budgeted positions and job classifications of the 2024-2025 budget for certain non-hazardous positions in the Finance Department.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we got a dual motion and then a second. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Oh my gosh, I got to get used to your cadence because Marie would just read those things so slowly, and then you're like bam, bam, bam. So we're knocking it out. Ordinance awarding cable franchise.
Ordinance number 58-24, ordinance awarding cable franchise to Spectrum Mid-America LLC. An ordinance awarding a non-exclusive franchise for a term of 10 years for a cable system within the confines of City of Henderson, Kentucky to Spectrum Mid-America LLC, locally known as Spectrum, which is referred to herein as charter.
Motion to approve, please. Do we have a second? Do we have any comments, questions, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Next up, we're going to bring something to the floor, and then I am going to recuse myself from voting on this particular issue. So I will help bring it to the floor, and then I'm going to get up, and Commissioner Vowles will assume pushing it to a vote. So we have a municipal order giving fiscal court notice of intent to annex property.
Municipal Order Number 98-24, municipal order giving notice to the Henderson County Fiscal Court of the City of Henderson's intent to annex properties contiguous to the current city limits with the address of 634 Glenwood Dell Drive, parcel ID number 64B-35, and 656 South Glenwood Dale Drive, parcel ID number 64B-36.
Okay. Do we have a municipal order? Do we have a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this municipal order? Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Let the record reflect Mayor Staten abstained from voting on that ordinance.
And it is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Dawn, it's a requirement by law that I actually get up and leave my seat while recusing from a vote, right? So just in case you all were wondering why I walked across the room, we are following legal procedure to be able to do that. So thank you, Commissioner Vowles, appreciate it. We have a resolution placing a moratorium on parking enforcement.
Resolution number 64-24, resolution to institute a moratorium on enforcement of City of Henderson Ordinance Section 22-62, limited free parking, Section A, and Section 22-64, fines for overtime parking until May 15th, 2025.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, gotcha. Do we have any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a resolution authorizing the reassessment moratorium for 136 Second Street.
Resolution 65-24, resolution granting property reassessment moratorium for ARA Capital LLC for property located at 136 Second Street, parcel ID number 1-6-2-1, Henderson, Kentucky.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Aye. We are going to do something a little bit out of order, which today's meeting's been a little bit out of order anyway. And we have a special presentation that we are going to do for a member of our commission whose spouse needs to leave. And so in recognition of her time, let's go ahead and do that now, and then we will continue with the agenda. So when I started on the City Commission 2017, been on the commission now for nearly 8 years. The entire time I've been on the commission, Commissioner Austin Vowles has been on the commission. And he has a growing family and a growing business, and really has a personal commitment to being a father and a husband and the best he can be in all facets of his life. And so for a number of reasons, Austin did not put in his name to run again this year. And so we have a commission where the 3 commissioners up here are coming back, and we have 1 new member who's going to be here. And back in the day, a long time ago, they used to do nameplate presentations for exiting members of the City Commission. And so we thought it would be highly appropriate to bring back that tradition because for me personally, It has been a tremendous joy to work with Commissioner Valles on a number. He's a steadying hand. He's a steadying voice. When we get into executive sessions, he's also another legal expert aside from our city attorney who can guide some discussions in ways that we wouldn't have been able to without him. And I know that his personal commitment to this community and his personal commitment to the commission and the work that he has put in over the years, I can't thank you enough, honestly. And so before I get up and officially do this, I want to ask the commission to see if they have anything that they would like to say about Commissioner Valles.
Flashback, 2 years ago, when we had a lot of momentum going, and Austin wasn't gonna run again, because he had a young family, and his wife really didn't want him to go through this, but we told him we need him, and that's the kind of public servant he is. He stepped up. He put on 2 more years to help us keep going in the right direction, and he is. When I first got on this commission, I've never told you this, Austin, but you are the one that I emulated myself to be, because you were a steady hand, a calm influence, and I'm going to miss you. I enjoy working with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we've been on it for 2 years now, but I've known you for a lot longer than that, and I think it's well known how much work you do in the community outside of just the city commission. But I know we're all going to miss you, and as belabor the point of what they've mentioned, but obviously, I think you bring a lot to the table in terms of your knowledge of city government, legal mind, finance, everything above, and I think you'll certainly be missed. And it's been a joy working with you.
Thank you.
I tried to talk to you into staying. Not only did I find a good friend, I found my personal attorney. And so I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been a while. And I'm not going to say I'm going to miss you, because I will be seeing you a lot. But this commission and this community, we're lucky to have you. We're lucky to have you. I don't know what, I've served with you, 3 times?
Yeah.
And we have done amazing things. And I know in young family, I know responsibilities, but you'll be back somewhere doing something great and continue to do things that you do in the community, and I'll be there to help you.
Thank you.
Austin, it's been a great pleasure to work with you, and I've watched you grow up, and to see you where you are today, and to see where you're going with your wife and your young family. I know great things are ahead for you, but you've been here at a very pivotal point in our community, probably in the last 30 to 40 years, to say the least. And I'm just very glad that you were here for that and help make a change in our community.
Thank you.
Austin, thank you so much for the time and the commitment that you made. You've always been prepared. You've always listened to both sides, not been afraid to take an opinion that might not be the majority opinion if you felt like it needed to be taken. And just, preparation. I don't think people who don't work up here realize how much time and energy goes into not just being here at these meetings, but talking to people and working with people outside this meeting. And you've done just a fabulous job, and we're really going to miss you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you don't mind to stand. On behalf of the City of Henderson and the City Commission, I'm presenting you with your nameplate in recognition of your years of service on the City Commission.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you'd like to say anything, you are more than welcome.
Sure. It's been a great honor to work with all of you on the City Commission. Couldn't have asked for a better commission to round things out, definitely. Couldn't have asked for a better person to come into office with than Mayor Staten. We've gotten so much done because he has really led the charge on so many different things. And I've been fortunate enough to get a lot done on the City Commission because I've been partnered with him and the rest of you all. There's just so much that we have accomplished. It's a laundry list, and I'm going to try to put it together sometime before the end of the year here just to remember everything we did. But it's been a lot. It's been 8 years of basically nonstop work. And good work, though. Good work that has changed our city government for the better. Started with Robert was already on the commission or rejoining the commission when I started, and has been here with me most of the time as well, and just really helped us get a lot done. And then Rodney came along, and couldn't have asked for another better co-commissioner than Rodney being there with us. I don't know if there probably haven't been very few and far things we've voted against each other on, Rodney. So it's been a lot of work together. And then Nick came along in the middle of last year, and it's been the same thing with him too. He's just been an excellent commissioner. So Buzzy Newman and Don have been running the city for a long time before I came along, and they've continued and doing just an excellent job, especially with Buzzy Williams in charge and leading the helm. And it's going to be big shoes to fill for him whenever he leaves. So think the city can do it. It's not going to be easy, though. The good news for everybody, though, is that I'm leaving and Kelsey Hargis is coming on. It's a major upgrade on the city commission. So I won't be missed, and that's a good thing. I shouldn't be missed too much. Everything's going to be better, I think, without me here. And that's something I'm actually very, very happy to see, is that you got this great commission up here, and then you have another great member to come join. And if I'm going to leave, that's how I want to leave. So glad to have that happen. Thank you all so much for your kind words. I appreciate it. Thank you, Commissioner Pruitt, for catching that and pushing that forward on the agenda. We're happy to take care of that. Now we'll jump back into where we were, and we're going to municipal order approving professional services agreement with Associated Engineers.
Municipal Order Number 99-24, Municipal Order accepting fee proposal for professional engineering services between the City of Henderson, Kentucky and Associated Engineers Incorporated of Madisonville, Kentucky for facilities design and permitting of a transient dock, and authorizing mayor to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the city.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order approving a memorandum of understanding with Henderson County Public Library.
Municipal Order Number 101-24, Municipal Order accepting master agreement for professional design services between the City of Henderson, Kentucky and Morley and Associates Incorporated, doing business as Morley of Newburgh, Indiana, for professional design services of a new transfer station and task order number 2024-01, and authorizing mayor to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the city.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Trace, do you mind to join us up at the podium? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm on the wrong one. So we read the Morley and Associates one.
We jumped ahead.
Yes, sir. No problem. Oh, yes, ma'am. So do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions on the Morley and Associates municipal order? And Dawn, so I called for a different one than we read, but are we okay? Okay. So we're on the Morley and Associates one. Does anybody, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions for the Morley and Associates one? All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. And do you have the library one in there also? Okay. Okay, so next up, we are going to read the municipal order approving the memorandum of understanding with Henderson County Public Library.
Municipal Order Number 100-24, Municipal Order approving memorandum of understanding between the Henderson County Public Library and the City of Henderson, authorizing the mayor to execute the memorandum.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Trace. Would you mind to tell us a little bit more about this, Press? Kind of a
I
neat
will.
project. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I'm here to talk about a transfer station, we are all in trouble. But no, what we're doing is a memorandum of agreement with the Henderson County Public Library, and what it pertains to is they want to do a project in Atkinson Park called a Story Walk. And what they proposed was a series of signs that will go around the playground in Atkinson Park, and each sign will contain a page from a storybook that will be changed out periodically. So I'm making up examples, but for example, perhaps 1 month or so you would have a Dr. Seuss story that as you walked along the existing trail in Atkinson Park, you could read these storybooks in order as you make the walk. And then maybe during the Christmas season there would be a Christmas story. During the spring season and so forth, you'd have a different story. So what it would allow is for kids, parents, and anyone that wanted to partake of it, just an additional amenity in our parks for kids, parents, and families to take advantage of as they play in Atkinson Park.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Trace? I think it's a really neat project and a good, and I really love the fact that we've been able to partner with so many different people in the community to do great things. And this is just another example. I think the library is sort of leading the charge on this one.
It is. I'm sorry that you left, but Danielle Anguish, it was really her brainchild. She's the one that came to us. I believe she's the children's program manager there at the library. This was all her idea. She did all the background work, and she came to us after everything was done. And as you mentioned, the library has been a fantastic partner for a number of different projects with the city, the Parks and Rec Department in specific, but the city in general. They've funded lending libraries that are housed at the JFK Center. They've stocked and managed a lot of our little lending libraries that are located throughout the parks. They've worked with us together on a bunch of programs and activities. Could not ask for a better community partner than the Henderson County Public Library.
Good deal. Well, hearing no additional discussion or questions, I'll call for the roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have City Manager's Report.
Yes, sir. I have a letter that I received from a resident, and typically, anytime we receive letters like this, we feel compelled to share with the Board of Commissioners. And this is nothing new, but for some reason, this individual took time to share an experience she had with our sanitation department. So Brian, if you don't mind coming to the podium, please. Just like to read this into the record. We included it in the packet, but it says the City of Henderson Sanitation Department employees and truck driver deserves a recognition of a job well done, way above and beyond the call of duty. On November 15th of 2024, 2 residents had Marshall Street blocked, preventing the sanitation truck from entering. Employees went to the resident of the vehicles blocking the street, allowing the trucks to enter in a timely fashion to continue their trash pickup. These employees rock. Thank you for reading, Linda H. Royster of 237 Hackberry. So we all know how special our sanitation employees are, especially this time of the year. We know between Thanksgiving and Christmas that we always have extra trash, and it's all hands on deck when these short weeks occur. And it's not only the sanitation workers that help make our holidays easier, it's also the other employees in public works in cooperation with their supervisors and their department head, Brian Williams, that make sure that our trash is picked up. And so with that being said, would you please accept this letter and post it and share with your employees of the department?
Just to add to what you said too, that in the sanitation department, whenever the employees are hired, they're in the interview, it's always told that during holiday weeks, during the extra pickup days when we're running behind, those are days they cannot take off unless it's an absolute emergency or death or something. So
where other departments, they can take off and have extended days off for the holidays. Sanitation guys are not really allowed to do that because they're required to be here. Otherwise, you won't get your trash picked up in a timely manner. So anyway, we appreciate what you do for the sanitation department. We'll continue to do a good job for the citizens of Henderson. And I think some of the new ways that we've done it, the can rollout we did a year and a half ago, that's worked wonderful. So we're going to look to do more things in the future. So we'll keep you posted on that. But that's, we appreciate what you do.
Tell you guys, Brian, that we really appreciate everything you do, because I really was one, I really didn't want to go to the trash can pickup like that. Because I thought it might cut down, really the routes in the alleys. And like I told you, I've seen the guys come to the alleys and they see something. They say, hey, what y'all doing over there? Or they make a call. And I didn't want to lose that. And I'm glad we didn't. This has really been a great for us. This can pickup is really, I really love it. So.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian.
Next item, the Planning Commission at their December meeting approved a rezoning number 1160 located at 2330 South Green, or 2230 South Green Street. With the graphic and narrative development plan. As y'all are aware, we allow a 21-day period for any parties that would like to address the Board of Commissioners either verbally or in writing, and so that period is begun. The last item, we know it's the end of the year, the holidays are upon us. However, we do and will require a special call meeting to adopt our own financial audit, as well as any other housekeeping items we may have come before us. We'll have to have a second read for the water utility. We hope to have that meeting sometime next week. As soon as we get a date, I will notify y'all, and just let me know what times are good for y'all. That's all I have, sir.
All right. Two more things we're going to close out before we have an executive session. One is I have one board appointment to make for today. And if it pleases the commission, I would like to recommend that Clay Gillum fill a vacant role on our local tourism board. This was a recommendation from Abby Dixon, the director of the tourism department. I believe the county has, if they haven't already, I believe they're very close to voting on her as well. I think this is a joint appointment for the city and county. And so does anybody, before we get a motion, have any questions or comments about Clay Gillum joining the tourism board? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt? Mayor Staten?
Aye.
Normally, when we get to the commissioners and mayor's report, we take the commissioner comments first and then the mayor. If it's okay with you guys, I'm going to jump ahead of you because I have a feeling you might want to comment on some of the comments that I'm going to be making. I've got two things. First of all, I'll get the one announcement out of the way. The city is starting a new podcast. It's called Municipal Matters, and it is done and being produced by Mr. Nate Fish and Gabby Major, who is a senior. Nate Fish is a teacher, and Gabby Major is a senior at the high school, and they are helping to produce it. We cut our first show. We recorded our first show last week, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, last week. It's going to be all about construction in the city, and so if you're wondering about anything related to the many, many construction projects that we've got going on, you can tune in January. And so it is going to be a monthly podcast. I believe it's the second Tuesday of the month is when it's going to be released. And it should be available wherever you get your podcasts. And so please do tune in to learn more about the city. The February show is going to focus its attention on the conference center, how that project came about, an update on where it's at, and a little bit of a timeline there and how it's going to run. And so we're really going to dive a lot deeper into some specific issues at the city and do so in a way that is a little bit non-traditional because we're trying to reach people with information from the city where they're at. And a lot of people these days, they listen to podcasts, and so we're going to try this out. And And I think the first one went really well, honestly. I haven't listened to it, but I was part of it, and I think it went really well. The second thing on my report is I want to talk a little bit about the city manager position here in the city of Henderson. So as you all know, Buzzy has told us that as of the end of February, he is going to step down as our city manager. He's going to retire, or maybe retire, depending on what my comments are to come. So we went through an exhaustive interview process. We did a nationwide search. We had over 30 candidates apply. We went through a narrowing down process, the commission did, along with Megan McElfresh from our Human Relations Department. Human Resources, is it Relations or Resources? I don't even know. Thank you, Human Resources Department. I always knew it was HR. I'll just call it HR from now on. So we went through a narrowing down process with the commission and with our HR director. And we narrowed it down to 6 people that we called for interviews. 4 of them actually took interviews with us. And we did the interviews over the span of about 2 weeks. And 1 person rose to the top of our list after much discussion and much deliberation on the issue. There is 1 person we're going to appoint as our next city manager. That is going to take place on March the 3rd, and the reason it's March the 3rd is because that is a Monday. We were shooting for March the 1st. It's a Saturday, so we've decided it's going to be March the 3rd is when this is going to officially take place. And so Buzzy will actually be, if anything, emergency type situations happen that weekend, Buzzy will be the city manager until March the 3rd. And then we'll have a clean break, at which time Dylan Ward will be our next city manager. In addition to that, I have some more news to report on behalf of the commission, and then I want to invite Dylan to come up and say a few words. So Dylan Ward will be our new city manager. Buzzy, God love him, he loves succession planning. And he loves succession planning so much that we have negotiated a deal that will keep Buzzy on as our assistant city manager. As of March the 3rd. He will, the contracts will be on a later date, Vince, so probably sometime in January. We will have the actual contracts negotiated and put on an agenda, but we know the news now, and so we wanted to go ahead and share the news now. And so Buzzy is going to stay on as our assistant city manager through at least the end of the fiscal year. Our fiscal year ends June the 30th. And so he is going to be assistant city manager from March the 3rd until at least June 30th, but we are not going to force him out the door. If for some reason he experiences much less stress and really loves being assistant city manager and Dylan is okay with keeping him on, then we're going to let him just choose a time past the fiscal year of his choosing. And we'll cross the assistant city manager hiring process bridge when we get there because we've got one that's going to stick around with us. And so Buzzy is going to negotiate down his salary that's going to be more commensurate with an assistant city manager salary, in case you're wondering the answer to that question. Dylan is going to negotiate a salary that's more commensurate with being city manager. Dylan will also be the city manager. And so just because Buzzy's staying on staff, it doesn't mean that he's going to be the go-to person or the buck stops with him. The buck's actually going to be stopping with Dylan. And so, but we feel like this is just a perfect arrangement for the city because it gives Dylan an opportunity to learn from the top. Instead of learning as an understudy to the city manager, he'll be in the city manager position. Buzzy will be there as a resource, but he's also made it very clear, Buzzy has, that he wants Dylan to make the decisions as city manager, that his job will be to assist Dylan and nothing more than that. There will be projects that I'm sure that Buzzy is currently working on that you'll want to continue to work on and kind of see through to fruition. We've talked about it a lot tonight. There's a lot going on, and we all know it. You see it all over town with all these projects and things going on, and they take a lot of work, and that's why we have an assistant city manager and some other staff to help us out. So if you would, please help me in welcoming Dylan Ward as our next city manager for the city of Henderson, Kentucky.
So I had to hide them out in the hallway because I've got a 2-year-old. So I'm going to attempt this and we'll see how it goes. You never know what you're going to get with him. But first off, I just want to say thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, and the rest of the selection committee. Mr. Newman, Megan, our HR Director, incoming Commissioner Hargis. Just thank you all for this opportunity and thank you for placing your trust in me. You all have already touched on a lot tonight, but I think we've already done a lot of great work these last few years, and I'm excited to keep that good work up in our community. I have to say, I really am excited for this.
Got a whole lot of excited people.
He's it's something I've dreamed about for a while, and I'm happy to say that today that dream has been realized, and I'm really thankful for God for all He's put me through to get me here to this point. And so, thank you all. I think personally we have. You can stay up here, Lynn, if you want. I think we have the best team here at the city. I'm so thankful to the past coworkers I've worked with, the present coworkers, and all they've done for me. We have a phenomenal staff, and thanks to your all's planning, thanks to City Manager Buzzy Newman's planning, we have a great succession plan, and I think the future is really bright for our city. That just makes me very excited. I also want to thank my past supervisors, Brian Williams, Russell Seitz, Doug Boom, also our former Mayor Steve Austin, for investing in me and giving me a chance so that I could even have a chance to stand here today. Here in Henderson, I've been saying this a lot over these last few days. We have great community partners here in this city that make it easy to collaborate. I'll mention just a few, but I'm sure I'll leave out a dozen. But the school system, the county, Henderson Water Utility, Hempel, tourism, chamber, economic development, the library, which we've talked about, KYTC, the local nonprofits, businesses, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on, and that's what makes me excited to serve in this role. Is we have, not just at the city level, city staff, elected officials, just citywide, we have a group that's willing to get stuff done, willing to work together. We have that team player mindset that allows us to accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own, and I think we've already seen that. So just looking forward to continuing that momentum. She had to step out, but I would like to thank my wife, Hannah, along with my 2 kids, Lindley and Caleb. Can you say hello, Lindley? For their love and support, and also my parents. I couldn't do any of this without them. I wouldn't be here without them, and I wouldn't be able to do my job like I'm able to without their support. So, and then finally, and I'm gonna keep this relatively short. I could drag this on forever, but I've got to thank Buzzy. He's been like a father to me, and not just me, to many in the city. Whenever he does finally ride off into the sunset into his retirement, which I agree, Mayor, I'm happy to have him stay as long as he wants, and I'm so grateful for that. I'll probably have a much longer, sappier, maybe even some tears for that. But Buzzy, I do appreciate, and he's been like a second father to me since I came here 11 years ago, and so thank you, and I am grateful that you're willing to stick around and continue to teach me, because you've taught me a lot over the years, but I know there's still a lot to learn. And so once again, I just want to say thank you, and I look forward to what the future holds for our community.
Before we move on to other comments, I meant to say, and I do want to get this on record, the 4 people that we interviewed were fantastic, including Dylan. They were absolutely fantastic, and it honestly wasn't it wasn't just a snap decision on our part. It took a lot of discussion. We had some wonderful interviews with some wonderful people. I just want to thank them officially for putting their name in the hat, for allowing us to interview them, for getting to know them better. Because we honestly, I don't know about you all, but I mean, I walked out of those interviews. I had already thought a lot of these people anyway, but I thought even more about all of them coming out of those interviews. Before we get to the commissioner's comments, because we're fresh off of Dylan's comments, Buzzy, if you would like, I would love to invite you to share a few words, if you have a few words you'd like to share with us, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to thank each of y'all for the process in which y'all went through to find my replacement. And honestly, to be fair, I'm an avid supporter of Dylan. I've watched him come right out of college. I've watched him grow into his position. I've watched him mature. I've watched him become a father. And alls I can say, he's a good, solid individual. And I believe going forward that this young man, along with his peers of all the department heads in the city, will support him in continuing the operation of the city as y'all would all expect. And I have full faith in all of our new hires as well as our existing. And between everybody that's in attendance today that is a department head or a supervisor or a project manager or whatever your title is, I fully envision that this organization is in much better hands going forward, and I look forward to reading in the Hendersonian to the good things and great things that this community will be doing, and with the support of the Board of Commissioners and y'all and the community, I have high hopes that our community will be the best in Kentucky. So thank y'all for everything, and Austin, again, we're going to miss you.
All right, and then we're going to do our commissioners' comments, and then we have need for a short executive session that will have action afterward. So Commissioner Vowles, would you like to offer a few words, sir?
Sure. I think, I just want to comment on Dylan Ward in the city manager position. I said earlier, big shoes to fill, but I think we found the guy who can fill them. So he might look young, he might be young, but you won't find another city manager candidate out there that's got more experience learning from Buzzy Newman. You won't find another city manager candidate out there that has the experience that Dylan has with the city of Henderson, that knows what's going on with the city of Henderson. So I think, with his education, his background, and his temperament, he's just an excellent candidate for that position, and really happy to see the succession planning to put him in charge there when, unfortunately, the city is going to have this city manager retire, which is going to be a loss. But I think we're poised to stay on track and continue doing big things. So very, very happy for that. Happy to have this last meeting for me, but you all know I'll still be around, so don't feel like it's a goodbye. My office is right around the corner from the city building. I'll still be there every day. So come find me when you need me. Call me. I'll be here. Thanks.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Well, Dylan, you've been around, 11 years with us? And you know how Commissioner Pruitt believes if it's equal and you're a Hendersonian, I'll put a little bit more tilt on the scale. Well, since you're building your house here, now I'm going to make you official Hendersonian. And you had the greatest mentor, Mr. Newman, that anyone could have. And his father mentored me, so I already know what he gave you. So welcome aboard, and I can't wait to see, like you said, we've been putting the succession plan in effect, and the city would be left with great hands. When I'm off this board and some of the others are gone, you guys, Megan, what's her name, Chelsea? And Dylan, you guys will be running this place, and we can't wait to see what all you guys are going to do. It's going to be great things in the future, and we just can't wait.
Commissioner Witt.
I'll keep it short because I think I drank too much coffee before we came in here. I would expect a 2-hour meeting. But, yeah, he wants me to finish too. But no, just congrats to Dylan. I think I'm not going to, everyone's said a lot of great things, and I agree with all that. I think he was very uniquely qualified for this position. As Mayor Staten said, we had a lot of really good candidates. But, I think the proof is in all the work that Dylan has done the last, 11 years for the city. If you look at his trajectory within the city, to me, if you were trying to create some kind of training program for someone to get to that position, I don't know if you could create something even better than the process he went through to get to that point. So I'm just really excited to have him along or continue to be with us and be our next city manager. Obviously, we'll miss Buzzy when the time comes, but I don't think that'll be for a while, so I'll keep those comments for another day.
All right. Commissioner Thomas.
He stepped outside. First off, I want to once again thank Buzzy for putting the city of Henderson in front of his own needs for doing this. And I want to welcome Dylan you've grown before my eyes in my 4 years here. And we've done so much in the last 5 years, and you've had a hand in just about all of it. So I can't imagine us having any more than you possibly have on your plate these last 5 years in the future. So you've already handled that, showed us that you can do that. So I'm all for you. I can say this, I've talked to at least a dozen city employees over the last few weeks. They're all questioning me who the next city manager would be. And every one of them wanted you. I couldn't say who, but they all wanted you. Now they got you. That says enough about you. Welcome.
And one last minute cleanup item. We heard from HWU and your audit earlier, and I neglected to get a motion to accept that audit. And so now I would like to ask for a motion to accept the audit on behalf of HWU.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. We have need for executive session. We're going to go down the hall. We'll be back. We have a little action. Can we please have a motion for executive session?
I move the commission go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101 subsection B for the discussion that may lead to the future acquisition of real property located on Lake.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, we're going to Right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are out of executive session, and we have a resolution that we'd like to read to the record.
Municipal order
Oh,
number
municipal order, sorry.
102-24, municipal order authorizing purchase of property located at 129 Letcher Street, Henderson, Kentucky, PBA parcel ID 2-18-1-5, in the amount of $30,000 for economic development, and a letter of donation for the amount over the purchase price up to the appraised value.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Bowe, second, Commissioner Pruitt. Do you have any questions, comments, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Need a motion to adjourn, please.